Hi everyone, I hope you've been having a great day so far. For those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Sage, and this is my little YouTube channel where I discuss everything here is Jitzu. For those of you who follow me, you may notice that this video is a little bit different than what I usually make, and that's okay, because I've been cooking up this theory for quite some time, and I'm really excited to show you guys. I've actually had a lot more Jitzu theories way before my YouTube channel started. Back in the days when MatPat was still narrating his videos. RP MatPat. I just never bothered to write any of them down, so now those theories are totally gone with the wind. But this theory has managed to survive the midnight thoughts. And don't worry, my beautiful children, the DQC purge has not been forgotten. It is totally still happening, and as of right now, I am currently writing episode 1. Here's your proof. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a long video, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This theory is centered around episode 9's villain, Shredz. But what if I told you that one of Heroes of Jitsu's most savage villains in the entire franchise isn't actually a bad guy? I know, it seems crazy, right? But I am 99.99999% convinced that you will be just as sure of it as I am. Shredz actually has two sides to his villainy, his cannibalism and his intent to take over the world. So let's start off with the first half. Now Moose Toys here decided to start off episode 4 with a bang. When we meet two security guards, one of them who is a clumsy oaf and the other one who is a scaredy cat, when they accidentally break several priceless artifacts, and instead of taking responsibility for their actions, they run away as the cameras can't see them. The goo meteor shatters, turning these now broken dinosaur bones into Heroes of Jitsu, where we get introduced to Tyro, Braxor, Tritops, Raps, and Shredz. The heroes are visibly stoked about their new powers, especially Tyro. My man, go wash your hands. Anyways, one of these dinosaurs are not like the others, and that dinosaur is Shredz, because the first thing he does when he wakes up is try to eat Braxor. After a bit of a brawl, Tyro brings him back to reality and tells him that they are not savages anymore and can't be eating each other. Confused and frustrated, Shredz skedaddles off to the sun, or moon, and doesn't return until later in the episode. And this is where we're going to debunk part 1 of his villainy using this logic. As humans, we tend to disagree on a lot of things, but something that all of us can agree on as a species is that cannibalism is very, very wrong, no matter the circumstances. With the only two exceptions, if you could even call them exceptions, of people who are able to fathom this thought, are people who are mentally insane, or those who have starved long enough to where they need something to eat, even if that means their own kind. But even then, those are really rare situations. And that's because us humans have something called a moral compass, something inside us that tells us right and wrong. But do you want to know who doesn't have a moral compass? Animals. And because animals don't have this moral compass, they survive off instincts, meaning their instincts is going to tell them how they're going to survive, even if that means eating their own kind as situations become desperate. And cannibalism in the animal kingdom is actually a lot more common than you may think. Here are a list of a few common animals that are actually proven to be cannibals. So using this logic, I have a theory that the goo meteor not only changes the Jitsu's physical appearance, but their mental abilities as well. Which is why the carnivores, like Tyro and Raps, didn't automatically try to eat the herbivores, Braxor and Tritops. Their minds were able to make that mental switch from pure instinct to human conscience. But since Shredz did resort to the cannibalism, likely out of extreme starvation, I think that parts of his brain hadn't fully adjusted to the goo meteor, with part of his brain being pure instinct, and most of his brain being human conscience. Because in the episode, he is portrayed to be doing things that animals clearly don't have the mental capacity to do, such as coming up with and going with elaborate schemes. Shredz is not dumb. He's actually the total opposite. He is a smart creature, and he knows this because he's using this intelligence to go through with a plan that will usually take humans months or even years to finish. And in the episode, Tyro confirms that it only took Shredz a few months to complete it. So with this information, we can rule as Shredz was incredibly hungry after 65 million years and had no other choice but to turn to his prey to nourish himself. Heck, we can even apply this logic to Rockjaw. Now this may be stretching it a little, because I don't know if he was just being sarcastic, but in this episode, Rockjaw says this.
Tonight, the fishies feast on hero goo!
And to seal the deal on this theory, both Spinosauruses, which is Shredd's species, and crocodiles are both proven to be cannibals. So I think Moose Toys was trying to tell us something with that. And now that we've covered part 1, let's discuss part 2. Now, this may seem a little harder to justify, but once you hear my proof, I think you'll be convinced. Remember, for the dinosaurs, the last time any of them were alive was over 65 million years ago, in which the world looked completely different than it does today. And this alone seemed to really bother Shredz more than any of the heroes. So in his mind, the seemingly right and only thing to do was to take the world back to its rightful owners, which in this case was the dinosaurs. Now, to put this into perspective, let's imagine it this way. Let's say that you and a group of humans got brought back to life somehow after the end of humanity. And once you gain consciousness, you come to realize that the entire planet has been taken over by AI robots. You'd rightfully be furious, right? So in an effort to bring back the Earth, you and those group of humans will start to try to do what you can to bring it back. This is the same mentality that Shredz is dealing with. So in his mind, he truly thinks that he's fixing the world. So in the end, Shredz would definitely benefit from some food and normal therapy and from a few history lessons on the extinction of dinosaurs. And that marks the end for today's video. I've been needing to get this out of my system for so long already, and it feels so good to finally just let it out, putting it into words and showing it to you guys. If you guys have a different take on this theory, I would love to hear your opinion in the comments below. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me today in this video. And as always, stay safe, remember to drink some water, and just remember that someone out there loves you. Bye!